Hi, and welcome to Best in Tesla News, episode 115. Tesla just held their earnings call and they are on fire. And Herbert Diess is admitting that Tesla is ahead and growing faster than they can keep up with. And we see legacy automakers collapse continues. And Tesla is dominating in Europe more than they have ever done before. And BMW think that Tesla's lead and unique selling point is over. They now have the ultimate driving machine. And Mary Barra did it. She led, and it matters, and has now saved all of GM with a single catchphrase. Wow. All of this and much more in today's episode. Let's dive right in.
Let's put our living stereo stylus in this groove.
Tesla held their earnings call this week on 4/20. I did make a whole video about it, so I am not going to repeat everything here in this news show. If you want to know all the juicy details, go back and check that video. But in short, Tesla slapped the whole car industry with records all around and still have $17.5 billion cash on hand, even though they paid off pretty much all their debt and have built 2 new factories. And their operating margin was 19.2%, which is insane. If you don't know if this is good or bad, I can tell you that Volkswagen has about 6% operating margins. Or take BMW, who is one of the most profitable car companies on the planet. They had in 2021 about 10% operating margins. So Tesla's 19.2% is nutty good. Unheard of in the car industry. And their operating income was up a pitiful 507%. And as we can see on this little chart Tesla showed, that is Tesla's market share. Not EV, but market share in the 3 biggest car markets on Earth. And as you can see, Tesla is rising in all of them and looks like they're speeding up. And the health of the company, their net income and adjusted EBITDA, as you can see here, is just going up, up and up. Yes, Tesla is growing fast, but has only just started. Their numbers just blew every expectations out of the water and made the other OEMs look like amateurs. But there were also some very nice new juicy details from the earnings call, but if you want to learn all about them, go watch my video about the earnings call. Okay, so everyone knows about Elon and Twitter. It is all over the news, but I will bet you missed a crucial piece of advice that he gave a few days before, because when asked about dealing with inflation, he dropped an absolutely gem. Own physical things. And there is one physical asset in particular that has really been making waves. In fact, it's already in the portfolios of 61% of the highest net worth individuals, probably because it has a price appreciation of over 36% when inflation is over 3%. Its market is estimated at $1.7 trillion and fueled by the super rich, continuing even in times like the COVID crisis. The easy way to get this asset in your portfolio at a price that works for you is with Masterworks, the sponsor of this video. I've been talking about them for a while and hundreds of you guys have already signed up, investing so much that they want to keep giving me priority access. So click my link down in the description to join Masterworks today and skip the waiting list. I did make a video just a couple of weeks ago about the legacy automakers and their collapse that are happening right now in front of us, and the story continues. I did talk in that video about how we can see all of the legacy automakers in the US was down in Q1, like Volkswagen that was down 44%, but one car company was up, and that was Tesla, of course, up 93%. But now we have got some numbers out of China, and the story is kind of the same, except that some of the Chinese brands are doing very well. Here it is not just Tesla that is up, but legacy autos are all still down. Volkswagen, again, you can see that both their joint ventures are down. FAW, Volkswagen, is down 40.2%. Still the biggest boy in the car market in China, but if they continue to drop like this, they won't be for long, and their SAIC, Volkswagen, is down 34.6%. And General Motors' SAIC joint venture is down 40.5%. Most legacy autos are down, just like in the US, except Toyota, and their joint venture is up 26.9%. And then there are some of the Chinese, like BYD, that is up a whopping 161.4%. And Tesla is also up, even though they had to lock down their factory for about a week in March. They still grew 85.3% in March in China. Just amazing what Tesla is doing in China. Wonder what Gordon Johnson will say about that. The legacies are all down and Tesla is up 85%. But we all like Gordon Johnson, and we will probably still have some fun in 40 years' time from now.
There is no demand.
Sure, Mr. Johnson, let's get you to bed now. But Volkswagen BEV sales are up, so that is good news. In Q1, the Volkswagen Group's EV sales were up 65% year over year. But that also shows us that it is their ICE sales that are collapsing. But again, we can also see the Volkswagen is not gaining on Tesla, because even though Tesla's EV sales in 2021 was about twice the size of the entire Volkswagen Group, Tesla did still grow their sales by 68%. They even grew more in percentage than the Volkswagen Group. And in units sold, Volkswagen grew from 60,000 EVs in Q1 of 2021 to 99,000 EVs in Q1 of 2022. So they grew with 39,000 units. Tesla grew from 185,000 units to 310,000 units. So Tesla grew 125,000 units. So again, Tesla grew with more units than the entire Volkswagen Group sold of EVs in all of Q1. That some people still think Volkswagen is catching up is just very, very funny. Their ICE business is collapsing, and the numbers clearly shows they're growing slower than Tesla when it comes to EVs. Tesla is far out in front and is moving faster. That just makes it impossible to catch up. Yes, they will never catch up with Tesla. And when we look at the EV market here in Europe, well, we have over 250 different EV models to choose from, but Tesla is more dominating than they have ever been before. Tesla is already by far the best-selling EV brand, even before they really get some volume numbers out of the Berlin factory. Because last year, Tesla was not able to take the crown from Volkswagen as the best-selling EV brand in Europe, but here in 2022, it looks like there is not even going to be a contest. Tesla has already sold twice as many as Volkswagen. These numbers are of course not 100% accurate, since we don't have all the numbers coming in from all the countries in Europe, but these represent about 80% of the market, so the real number should be a bit higher, but this is a very good indication of the EV market here in Europe. And not only is Tesla the best-selling brand by far, but they also have the two best-selling EV models in Europe, with a good lead down to the next on the list. The Model 3 is still sitting on the number one spot, closely followed by the Model Y, but I think those two are probably going to change places as the Berlin factory is ramping up. So, as you can see, now we have the same thing playing out here in Europe as we have seen play out so many places around the world. There is Tesla, and there is all the rest. That is still not really able to produce a lot of EVs. Even if we go to the home of Volkswagen, BMW, Audi, Mercedes in Germany, Tesla is still selling twice as many EVs as the second best-selling car brand, and that is still Volkswagen. And the Model 3 and the Model Y is still sitting on the two top spots. And when speaking of the German automakers, EVs and competition, well, we have to take a look at BMW, because they're quickly becoming the GM of Europe, because they think they are now leading the way. BMW is saying that their i4 is the ultimate electric driving experience and Tesla no longer has any unique selling points. Where have I heard that before?
The big boys are coming, and they're coming with sexy looking cars at the same price point with better features, faster cars, great styling. And so what was unique for Tesla is no longer unique.
But I would still say it's the other way around. The BMW i4 still has nothing on the Tesla Model 3. Like the 0 to 60 is 3.7 seconds, the Tesla Model 3 performance 3.1. The range is 301 miles EPA, Tesla's is 334 miles. Top speed of the BMW is 140 miles per hour, Tesla's is 162 miles per hour. Charging is 200 kilowatt, Tesla's is 250 kilowatt. But it does have a bigger battery than the Tesla Model 3, so it will take longer to fill up, to get less range, and it will cost you more to do so, so that's great. Don't have its own charging network, that Tesla does, and don't have great software, as Tesla does. But don't worry, it is more expensive than the Tesla Model 3, so I'm sorry BMW, but you have not beaten the Tesla Model 3 even on a single spec, not one. And you think that Tesla has no longer any unique selling points? Oh boy, are you in for a surprise, BMW. And we can see that even the EV customers in Germany don't really want the i4 over pretty much anything else. It has been out in Germany for the full year. They started deliveries on the 29th of November last year. But we have to go pretty far down the list to find it. Because the Model 3 sold 9,483 units, but the BMW i4 sold 508 units. And the iX, that BMW CEO also said that the demand for these two cars was certain, well, that has only sold 800 in Germany year to date. Again, 10 times less than the Model 3. And funny to see them talking about how they are leading and will outsell Tesla now, even though BMW's target for BEV sales in 2020 is 200,000, which is twice as much as they did in 2021, so that is of course awesome for BMW, but it is about 30% less than what Tesla sold in just Q1. Yeah, it will be years before BMW even gets to the BEV sales numbers of Tesla in 2021. Maybe BMW should stop talking trash about EVs all the time and then say they are the leader in the EV race and just get going on those EVs. Hopefully these statements means that they are serious about making EVs in high volume now, but then again they say things that just contradict themselves, just like Ford did, because they are still in trouble because of their ICE business that they still have to take care of, just like BMW were just out saying, if you are not selling combustion engines, someone else will. But time will tell how well they will be able to execute on the production and sales of EVs. Because when we look at the EV sales through the last 4 quarters, well, BMW has quite a bit of catching up to do to even call themselves competition to Tesla. I would say Tesla will probably grow more in sales from Q1 numbers to Q4 numbers. So just the growth from Tesla's 310,000 to whatever they're able to produce in Q4, the growth there will probably be about the same numbers than BMW is capable of producing of EVs in all of 2022. So I would say Tesla still has the most important and unique selling point, and that is volume production of EVs. The others are having huge problem to scaling up to volumes that actually matters of EVs. And that is also why, as we just talked about, Tesla is the best selling EV brand in Europe now, because they're the only one that can produce EVs at high volumes. And now they will ramp up the Berlin factory and Europe will have a supply of EVs we have never seen before. But there is of course never a dull moment with Mary Barra. She has now come up with a secret that will suck up all the talent out there. A catchphrase. When Mary Barra spoke at What Matters, she had come up with a new catchphrase she thinks will make every new talent want to come and work for GM. The phrase is, Our purpose at General Motors is to pioneer the innovation that moves and connect people to what matters. Wow, awesome. So, problem solved, no need to worry about GM anymore. Mary have saved the company with this great sentence that will make sure they will get all the best talent and will help them to rise to GM's goal of producing 2 million EVs in 2025. So in just 3 years, GM will scale from 500 EVs sold in Q1 of this year to 500,000 EVs sold in Q1 of 2025. So GM will grow their EV business 1000x, 1,000 times in just 3 years. Wow, that is some catchphrase she has come up with there that can do all of that. That would be very impressive if they can pull that off, because so far they have shown us that they have been some of the slowest to grow the EV production of anyone on the planet. Remember, they have been making pure EVs for 5 years with the Bolt, but only managed to produce less than 500 EVs in Q1. They were even beaten by Rivian in Q1. Very embarrassing. And let's get our weekly news update about Tesla's Gigafactories. That means handing it over to Brian from My Tesla Weekend. Take it away, Brian.
Hey Lars, well, let's take a look at some factory progress, shall we? In Shanghai, there's still not much to see because the lockdown, for the most part, persists. Hopefully in a week or two, we will begin seeing progress again. In Berlin, on the east side of the building, the drain field is starting to shape up. The 4680 building is inching along nicely, but I should emphasize it is just inching. There is portable offices being installed just south of the 4680 building, suggesting to me at least that interior work will begin shortly. And of course at the north of the building, where we saw the stamping extension being dug out, they are now driving pilings. That's good. In Texas, the biggest news is that cars are moving out. They are producing and they are starting to deliver, maybe not to customers, but somewhere. In the northwest corner, the HVAC system has begun getting configured and dialed in, which suggests additional progress in the battery area is already underway. Around the site, we've seen some panels removed from the exterior to allow installation of large equipment. On the east side, there's a road that has been finally opened, with another road next to it underway. The solar on the roof is looking real nice, but remember, this is a huge area to cover. It's going to take a little bit of time. And in the northwest corner, geopeering has increased in its pace. Yeah, foundation work is started. So for those of you saying, oh, what are we going to cover now that the factories are done? This is Tesla, my friend. Factories are never done. Lars?
Exactly, Brian. When it comes to factories, Tesla has only just begun. Thank you so much for the update, Brian. See you next week. And let's squeeze in the last short news topics into this new show. Yes, it's time for the Tesla Shorts. And Ford revealed a new EV concept. Not even a prototype, but just all CGI, so nothing real to get excited about yet. Let's check back when they have a prototype of this ready and when we can expect an actual production of this car. Then we can talk some more about it. But just wanted to let you know that Ford showed off a new EV concept. And Tesla Shanghai opened up again with 8,000 workers returning to the Shanghai factory and is already back to about half the production speed as before the lockdown. But that was achieved in only a couple of days, so that is very impressive. Even Elon replied on Twitter about Tesla in China doing incredible work. Going to be exciting to see what they will be able to ramp up to here in Q2, because the 50% increase to phase 1 and B should soon be done, or is already done, I don't know, but we should be very close. So Tesla should soon be able to hit a bigger production numbers than they have ever done before in Shanghai. And someone showed off this PPF wrap of a Rivian that makes it satin black. Now that looks pretty cool. And speaking of wrapping your car, don't forget that you can keep the color of your car and still wrap it to protect your brand new Tesla. Drive Protected make these great PPF wraps of the car, but you don't have to go to them to do it. The guys from Drive Protected have a whole YouTube channel where they show off and explain exactly how to wrap your Tesla, so you can do it yourself even if you live here in Europe or anywhere else. And they can of course guide you through the whole process if you need some more help. So this is actually something everyone can do. And some of the biggest benefits of getting your precious Tesla wrapped is to protect it against rock chips and scratches and door dings and etc. Just as Beard Tesla wrote on Twitter, I am glad I have Drive Protected PPF on the door, or I will have some paint damage too. Oh yes. So if you would like to protect your brand new Tesla, use my discount code BIT20 to get 20% off any order over $300 of Drive Protected great PPF wraps. The code is good for worldwide orders, so go nuts, my friends. And Elon did reveal in his latest interview that SpaceX will make a Starship orbital launch attempt in a couple of months. Oh yes, I think this summer is going to be extra hot. And SpaceX did of course make another Starlink launch this week and landed back down on the drone ship successfully. What else is new? Well, SpaceX now has 250,000 Starlink customers and they should be producing about 8 satellites per day. That is just nuts. And Herbert Diess admits that Tesla is ahead and growing fast. As he just said in an interview, Tesla is quite ahead currently and they're growing fast, I have to admit. He is taking more risk than we can. Talking about Elon here, but nice to see some recognition of Tesla's lead and that they're growing very fast. Not saying it directly, but sounds like he is admitting that Tesla is growing faster than Volkswagen can keep up with. And we of course just saw that with the European EV sales numbers, so no reason to try to hide it anymore. And we can see Tesla is getting close to solve full self-driving, as Don from Green Hill Software Company that is working on full self-driving software themselves is getting more and more desperate. He is again on CNBC talking about how Tesla's software simply doesn't work and Tesla's cars will get hacked and a lot more stupid things. He is really getting desperate, but understandably so, as Tesla is getting more and more confident in their full self-driving. Don here knows his business is about to get buried by Tesla and he does everything he can to try to hurt Tesla. But it won't work. And it is almost every number about Tesla that is just nutty. As Sawyer wrote here on Twitter, Tesla hired an average of 118 people per day in 2022 and the rate only increasing. That is just crazy. And Tesla Insurance has launched in Oregon, Virginia and Colorado. So including those 3 states, Tesla Insurance is now available in 8 states in the US, covering a population of over 118 million people. And I was interviewed by Facade this week, the former Tesla employee, and my buddy Brian from My Tesla Weekend. That was just so much fun talking to both of you guys. Facade's interviews is out, so you can go check that one out and keep an eye on Brian's channel because that video should be out soon. I will leave a link to both their channels down below. And before we end off with a bit of fun, I just want to make a quick shout out to my newest patrons and members of this YouTube channel. Joel Allen, Mark J. Ullman, Severin Lerenberger, Andreas Holmgren, Andrew Dawning. And I thank you for watching, members Mats Kjellson, Roger Battelle, Kaido Utsus, and Bronze Like Spoons. Thank you so much for all your support. I am doing this all by myself, but you guys are all the producers of this new show. You make this happen. Thank you. And a big and special thanks to Supporter of the Week, and this week's winner is Severin Lauenberger. I don't know. Severin, thank you so much for your support. He is one of my new patrons, but he is already going up and beyond to support me and this channel. Thank you so much, Severin, for helping out. I will contact you on Patreon in the meantime, go in and find the t-shirt or mug of your choice. And let's end off with a bit of fun. And if you meet people that think acceleration of a car doesn't matter, well, it's probably because they've never tried it, because even this very young kid knows what it's all about. It is just fun.
Barot, go! Barot, Barot, go!
That is all we have time for in this news show. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button. It really does help out this video a lot. And if you did like it, maybe you want to consider hitting that subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos just like this one. If you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for your support, and if you want to support the channel even more, remember you can, for as little as $1, become a patron of this channel and get your shout out on this show. You can also become a member of the YouTube channel to get a shout out and some extra perks. Hit the members button to find out more. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter. I tweet all the news as it comes out and more. And check out the merch store to get some merchandise and support the show. Now it's also possible to support the show without buying anything, becoming a member or a patron. There is a link to donation options in the show notes. But going forward, I will be making more videos for patrons and members only. And I will give my YouTube members and patrons early access to my videos whenever possible and make my videos ads free for members and patrons only. So don't miss out. And thank you for watching. And until next time, take care out there and be nice.